Hey, so hello, bridge makers. This is Hey You or Dr. Diaz with a circle of bridge makers. We're here doing our community builder meetup, which we do every Friday night. Hello, hello. And the steps of this particular meetup is first we check in with one community norm that helps build healthy communities. And then the next one is checking in about a pain point, something that hurts about building community. And then the third one is talking about how our environments shape community. And so we'll do a little world hop to look at spaces and ask ourselves, how does this world make community or break community? We sometimes will also shake that up by going and trying on avatars and asking that question, or sometimes we get really deep in it and we don't always do a big world hop. But this is a practice of being with versus fixing each other. There are many people that orbit in and out of this weekly circle. Sometimes they don't come for the full thing, and we try to give grace for that, although we hope that people will stay and honor that we all came for the full thing. We all came to be with each other through this 2-hour journey once a week. But yeah, before we dive into those second two parts, which are like kind of the bigger meat of it, this is the time where we build the container together. Every week we build it again. How do we build a healthy community with each other today? So we have norms connected to bridge makers. If you want to look at the group page or via chat, you can see those in the rule box. You could read one of those, or if you have a favorite community building behavior that you've seen that helps build healthy communities, you can share that in lieu of a bridge maker's norm. So who would like to start off? How do we build healthy community?
Do a quick one. We, in this community, we like to respect that we would stay on orange and that we make sure that we don't have ourselves open to have friends just randomly join in on us.
Mm-hmm.
It's a practice we like to do to keep everything grounded, and if someone does join, we still invite them in, but it helps keep expectations in line and keep things flowing smoothly.
Yeah. So stay on orange, and if you do have a friend who's trying to join, just please meet them at the entrance to let them know what this group is about and make sure that they would like to join the circle the way we're setting it up, basically. Thank you. Okay, who else?
I guess I could.
Okay.
Say hello, say goodbye. It helps to acknowledge that not just like that we're avatars, but it also helps to acknowledge that the person behind it as well, and it also helps to keep in tune with like gauging where someone is at in their emotional fluency.
Wow, that's a great addition to that. Yeah. So saying hello is somewhat normal in social VR, not as normal as it should be, but the goodbye part is pretty rare. People don't necessarily check in when they're going to leave many times, and they also don't follow up if they disappear and check in like through our Discord to just let people know what happened if they have to drop out suddenly. So we're building a culture of human decency and a recognition that when we disappear, people feel it. And if we don't give each other the grace to understand why we chose something else versus this space, then we just leave a vacuum in our wake. We just leave a void there. So, how do we honor the humanity that's here and practice being humans on purpose with each other, including how we exit? Yeah, thank you. Who else? It's a community norm that helps build healthy community.
Wow.
So,
Okay, so
yeah,
oh,
Apex is typing. Can you see the
okay.
typing, Verka?
Yes.
Okay. Staying positive. Oh, that's interesting, Apex. Yeah. Yeah. So often I see people say staying positive as a norm is a way to keep people from feeling dragged down by each other's problems. Is that kind of what you're meaning? Yeah. Yeah. And so staying positive it does have its place at times, right? It can be a thing that can help groups move a product forward, like they're trying to work on something and everybody like assumes positive intent. Sometimes staying positive in social circles can feel like a relief at first, but it can also feel a little bit like Invasion of the Body Snatchers, where everybody has been programmed to say only nice, happy things at all times. And so, Bridgemakers is a little mix of both, right? Like we have celebrations and we support each other in every meeting to appreciate and recognize our value. We also say hard things that some people might see as negative. So the value that we hold around this is instead of staying nice to each other, right? That's kind of like a positive thing to let's all be nice. And that's not actually our norm. Our norm is kindness and it's also our value. And kindness can mean saying hard things at times. And it's done from a place of community value, community spirit, and if I say a hard thing, I'm going to say that with the willingness to stay with the process as much as I can and let you know if I have to move away from that moment after I've said a hard thing. That's pretty rare, but it does happen sometimes. So I would uh, expand your staying positive to say staying kind. Let's practice kindness here. That makes sense? Yeah. Okay. Or like Doctor Who said, laugh hard, run fast, be kind. Okay, there we go. That's interesting. Closer. I'll take it. Laugh hard, run fast, be kind. Definitely be kind. Yay. Okay, Verka, your turn.
You know, I'm not always the positive one, and I feel bad because this is something I feel is a very important piece of community, and it's fear. I
That's
think that that
interesting.
has a very strong part of building community when you have those who are afraid, have fear, and we
Mm,
can make them feel welcome.
mm,
That grows a large entry to so many more options in general because you've
mm,
welcomed someone who has fear into something that they may fear that they might not even be able to do, and then they see the doors open and then they want to be a part of, and that just moves on and makes things build larger and larger and larger.
mm, mm.
But I think
And
it's a very important piece. So I guess I don't know if fear is the right word, but it's like a self fear.
yeah,
If it's the right word.
that's really interesting. It almost feels like the value is staying through fear.
Yeah,
Feel the
having the ability
fear
to do that,
and hold through it and express your truth.
and we will expand.
We will learn how to build bridges together. Yeah.
Hmm.
Thank you, Rika. Yeah, holding in uncomfortable moments is a big part of bridge makers, and that can become a blank slate for just stick around. Well, we totally abuse you, right? Like that can become a slippery slope. And that's not what I mean or we mean, I hope. If we do mean that, then we need some bridge breakers in the mix here. But yeah, the idea is that this is a convenience-based product. A lot of gaming is. So it's basically only go towards what feels good. And if it stops feeling good, get away from it. And we're practicing something different here, which is how to hold in the discomfort, how to listen more deeply, how to swallow both the excitement and the sadness or terror and let it grow deeper roots to each other. Finding places to share the truth wherever we can. Yeah. Thank you for those norms. So I'll bring one. I'm just thinking about the ones that haven't been mentioned today. We do have a no substance use guideline, which just basically means when we get together as a group, we influence each other with what we're under the influence of. And when somebody is altered, it can skew the experience for the whole group. It can dilute it or make it more intense or skewed in some way. So please refrain from substance use and be as present as you can. And then, what are any others? I think this might be it. Yeah. If we think of any more, we can talk about them, but those are all really good ones. And so why don't we move from that into pain points? So basically, instead of being in your head about what do I think is wrong with community, try dropping into your body, into your emotions. Is there an ache that's been carrying forward with you this week around community? And, oh, okay, Apex, thanks for checking in.
Wonderful seeing you.
Nice having you.
Yeah.
Cool.
Jeanette. That's an interesting name. Take care, Apex.
You take care also.
Actually, Apex, if you're still here, are you in our Discord? Okay.
You're not.
I didn't know if you were under Apex there. You're hardly using it? Okay.
Okay.
Same name.
That's good.
Okay. Are you still in our maybe funnel? Like, is Scott still talking to you in our maybe funnel? Or have you even started that ticket? Okay. Yeah, so it's good to check in there because we usually try to clear those tickets within about 30 days. I'm in it. Okay. Cool. Well, definitely check in with us there so we can see if maybe there's a better event time for you that you can stay for. Sounds like you need to go to bed or something. But I'm glad you came. Will do. Cool.
Sweet.
Yeah, we'll talk to you later. If anybody wants to try to find Jeanette, whoever that is, and
I could try to go get them.
yeah, I don't know where their username is. Oh, they're on the other side. Yeah.
Yeah.
See if they want to join. Okay. Cool. But in the meantime, yeah, thinking of or feeling into what is a community ache that you're holding with you this last week, and remembering that this is something we reflect to each other. We don't fix it here, not at this meeting at least. We just try to hold space for each other and mirror each other back, whatever that means. And so I'm sitting with trying to find my own. I'm like, do I pick a pet peeve or do I go deeper? have lots of pet peeves. But yeah, does anybody have a community ache they want to start with?
Since everybody probably knows what mine are, I'll start it. Mine are common. I want to build. And I come in and I see worlds and they're wonderful. And I just...
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
hey, welcome.
Hello.
Hello. So we're just doing a check-in right now about community building pain points. And so we are live streaming, and I don't know if you've been to our meetings before. Have you ever been here?
Oh yes, a couple of times.
Okay. Sorry if it's just been a while. I didn't remember. Glad to have you back.
Oh, it's all good.
So Virko was just sharing her community pain point, which, to recap, is Virko wants to be able to build worlds and is looking at worlds and seeing how beautiful they are. And go ahead and continue.
And it's just getting more and more frustrating. Yes, I take the time to go online. There's YouTube. You can get all kinds of information. The biggest thing that keeps slapping me in the face is that you cannot ask a video a question at the point in which you're trying to get something done.
Yeah.
And so that becomes a big slap down for me, to where I'll spend some time. I've gotten a little farther, which is great, so I've made progress, but that frustration just keeps coming back and coming back and coming back every time, when I can't seem to do what I see here. And maybe it's my own understanding of how this works, because I learned to build on my headset so I could see things. And when I'm looking on my computer, it does not look the same as in here. So I'm not even understanding how to build. Gosh, it's understanding for me. Everything comes back to understand. I have to understand what I'm doing in order to achieve. And when I can't understand it, I have a question so that maybe I can get a better answer as to what I'm trying to understand. And then I can't ask anybody because there's nobody who can answer that, because I'm watching a video. So I just keep going over and over and over with this to where I want to, but then I can't. So I don't spend as much time as I probably could on it. But then I just get frustrated and I think, you know what, I can't even do this. But then I go to these worlds and it's like, no, I've got to get this done. I want to get this. How do you get...
Oh, did you glitch out, Virko? Oh no.
She's definitely frozen.
And it was the best expression. How do you get... And then you froze. Oh, hey, Virka.
And there she goes.
The howl of world creators who don't know how to create worlds. I feel that deeply. Bless their heart. Well, when she returns...
Yeah, I wonder what disconnected her.
I know.
It's
pretty rare
a few
in this
things could have
instance.
happened. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have to get her set up on the PC connection at some point too.
Yeah. She definitely has been set up already. She just doesn't remember how to hook it all up. So she's going to need somebody to, like... It'd be so cool if somebody would write a program that would, like, just execute and get somebody hooked up. You know, they don't have to do 10 steps to get online, kind of thing. But
yeah, I'm not sure what she did to do it the first time. So
Jay got her set up, and it's probably through Steam Link and all that stuff. But yeah. Well, we'll reflect her back when she comes back. Moose Boo. Interesting. But in the meantime, who else would like to share pain points?
I guess I could.
Okay.
Welcome back to the Axel Saga. We're going back to my thesis.
Yes.
Great.
Yeah, so particularly I have 2 more meetings left in my session.
Mm-hmm.
I have 2 more meetings left in my session.
Sorry, Axel, let me interrupt real quick. Lisbeth, do you mind putting yourself on orange?
Oh.
So, have you been to this group before? Trying to remember.
I have not gotten around doing an event
Oh.
yet, no.
Okay, well, glad you're here. So yeah, this is a weekly builder check-in, and we're checking in about what hurts or what aches about building community. And so we're going to listen to Axel share, and then somebody here will volunteer to reflect Axel back. And actually, Verka just came back in the world, so maybe we'll reflect her back first before we move. So you're going to hold that, hopefully.
Okay.
Don't forget. But yeah, we're basically practicing very basic rules of communication, but things that we often miss, especially in our avatars. How to hear each other without fixing each other is this segment. And then after this, we'll go on a little world hop to look at how our worlds reflect our community, or maybe even scramble our community. Welcome back, Verka. Did you crash?
I don't know what happened. It said your time has ran out in the world.
What?
I don't know what. I just said your time has run
Timed
out.
out.
Oh,
Yeah,
timed
I
out.
don't know
Okay.
what-
That's what it was. Yeah.
Never
Well,
heard of that.
sounds like a glitch. Yes. Glad you're back.
Okay.
Okay.
So I hope y'all heard what the basic was, which
We
was the frustration
did.
of
Yeah.
being unable to get this in on a computer screen. I don't know how to achieve it.
Yeah. And so for you, community building right now is world building. And you're struggling with how to build worlds. Yeah. Extremely.
I don't get it.
Yeah. And maybe because this is a continual pain point for you, do you want to share a little bit more about what kind of world you want to build so everybody here can feel that pain with you?
Oh, certainly. Some are familiar with it, some may not be, but I had worlds in Horizon that I cherished very much, and I want those same worlds built here. And the whole thing of the world building was to show a piece of history, and flowing through the time of history in different worlds in Horizon, of course. If I understand, I might be able to do it more in one world here, where it would be the process of slavery through freedom, and the steps that were taken throughout the whole time in order for us to get here. And as I said, I've already built them in Horizon, starting them, showing songs that were sung for the Underground Railroads that people would use, going and looking into different actions people would do to show where to go if they needed to get somewhere. There's a lot of these different pieces that go into the worlds that I want to build here, and I love the way the image is different. I was happy with what I built in Horizon. I still am happy with those places, but I would love it to advance farther to this. If a person could walk up to the plantation and actually have it look like a house, and then walk in and see those images and walk through it, and then the steps of, instead of going from one world to another, if you walk through a door, you're going to open a door and go out to a step forward in it, to where you won't be back in the point where it was a slave in a little hutch. You're going to be in a different section of where life is. I would like to see something like that built in here, to where you're walking through and experiencing it. And it would it'd be fun for me. I think other people may enjoy it, because they would get to see it's got to go all the way from the boat, starting from the ships that were coming in. People would start off in the world there, and as they get off the boat, they would go up and see the next level. And as they get through that, they would go move on and see the next level as where things happened. That would just be so exciting to me, to see us walk through that whole process and seeing the different levels in different sections as you're walking through the world.
Wow.
But I can't get the world. I can't get these things built.
Very ambitious.
Thank you, Virka. Thank you for getting deeper into it. Would somebody like to reflect Virka back? And just a reminder for reflective listening, this is not about amplifying Virka's emotions or imagining the consequence of this. This is just about really being a mirror for exactly what we heard. And so, like step A, step B, step C, what are the details there? And we're giving that back. So, who would like to try reflective listening for Virka?
Oh, so my worlds are scaring people. Okay. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
We're holding a pause. Let's see if anybody wants to volunteer. I can always go if you don't. Nobody else.
I could try to go, but I missed a bit of it earlier. I was helping Jeanette come over. From what I heard, you're struggling with the learning aspect and the understanding aspect of a whole new technical process of creating digital spaces. It's an entirely new thing that you're trying to wrap your head around, and following the tutorials online are still missing context and things that don't make sense to you in the current state that you're watching them. And you're really hoping to have that kind of voice or instructor or a tutor to be able to ask questions back and forth and go through that process to learn how to take your creations that you have on Horizon Worlds and to recreate them in VR chat, albeit more elaborate. That the platform we're on can handle more effects and details than what was in the past, and that comes with more desire and more expectations, which makes it really hard and more frustrating that it's not, coming to fruition when you look at the tools and the tutorials, and it's just not doing the same thing you're seeing. And also from what you have in your head to get on the screen, also a big struggle for trying to create something that you're not familiar with the tool set or the technology. So I
Definitely.
sense that frustration quite a lot.
Oh, yes. That was so well said. So well said. Oh, I can
I've
feel
been
their
there.
tension.
Yeah, and specifically to name what you said this subject matter is, this is about the Underground Railroad and slavery. And you have already built the journey. I built some of it with you. Of you start on the slave ships, and then you move on to the plantation. And this is about building the perspective of what freedom meant from the slave's perspective first, and also being able to see the colonial setting and the colonizers' homes, and to feel the contrast of that from the slaves and how they signaled to find freedom to the colonizers and how they restricted and oppressed freedom.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, just hearing that stuff makes my head blow up. I want it to happen.
No. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that.
I can see it. I'm sorry, I can see it. I can see it. It's right in front of my face. But the computer screen is not the headset, and I do not see it.
I feel you. Thank you for sharing your pain point.
Thank you.
Trying to build community for slaves and for people who need to understand what that means and feel it from the inside out. Yeah.
It can be intense. Just that travel.
The journey.
The journey. Yes, thank you. The journey through that time. That so many people may say, "Oh yeah, we know about slaves. We know about slaves." Can you live it? Can you feel it? Can you? Because it's not just slaves. It's we progressed through time. Everybody did. Look at how things happen. It's starting to tingle because I'm thinking so hard about it. Come on, everybody, let's get the world built. Come on.
It's like, it's time. I hear you. Thank you, Virgo. Okay, so Axel, Virgo, when you got kicked out, Axel was just starting to share their pain point also. So they're going to go next. And we're going to keep going.
I didn't know that.
Oh, you didn't? No. We wanted to finish yours. So, okay, Axel, theater time. Go.
Yes, so this week we're going back to the Axel saga of my thesis. Again, like I was saying, I have 2 more sessions left in this session before I actually enter my thesis semester, which is very big. It's like, like I see it's like looming over me right now. But I digress. The pain point for me in like the community aspect of this piece, which for those of you who haven't been following, I am writing my own play, and the intent and goal is to reconnect humanity with their emotions. So most of the play involves sitting with heavy elements, heavy content, heavy themes that evoke strong emotions within us. So the thing that's I'm kind of like on the edge about and everything is like the content that I've been writing about, just because it envelops more communities and people than I am thinking it would. It's like from like a couple of like the read-throughs that I've had with it, some people have made comments at the end when we had our feedback sessions of, oh, this affected me where I didn't think that would affect someone. And so my community pain point is, how do I continue the exploration of the intents of this piece that it just has so much opportunity and so much need for in this world today, but like how I can take the things that I don't think that are said that will land on the audience or the viewers or the readers or the actors and actresses or the directors or the dramaturgs or the lighting, just everyone. Like, how do I it's like trying to find that care in the writing and presentation of the content. Yeah.
Okay. Who wants to reflect Axel back?
I'd like to take a shot at that if no one else
Okay.
does.
Sure.
And it's because it's seeming like a similarity for me. Just on a different step, I hear that you have some great work that you've done, that you have found has or is going to affect some sort of emotion or feedback from others, and you have to find a common ground so that it will do what it is supposed to without causing harm. Sounds like there's a point in there where you're trying to take into consideration other people's thoughts in the whole situation without removing the whole aspect of what it's supposed to be representing. So it sounds like one of those challenges of trying to find that common ground that's going to meet to where you're going to get that out there and people can still appreciate it. Oh, that was close.
That reflected back, actually.
That was exactly the point. I am like, your response just like smacked me right in the face.
In a good way. In a good way.
Yeah, in a very good way. Yeah.
Good.
So.
Yeah. Common ground. That's a good way to put it. And I also hear in that almost like a claustrophobia, maybe, of some sort. That it's just like, how do I anticipate the people who are going to be triggered off of my content for one identity, one experience, and they're going to cross it, apply it to theirs, and oh, in that particular identity, this is a super hurtful version that I'm not anticipating how it could land there. And how do I think of everybody ahead of time enough? Or do I face that I might not think of everybody ahead of time?
That might not even be possible.
Exactly. Yeah. At some point, trying to be so trauma informed that there's no trauma left is the paradox there. Yeah. Oof. Okay. Who else? What aches about building community? One story, one moment, one thing that's just pressing on your heart this week, especially. What is your community building ache? And it can be your own personal life, your roommate. It can also be being a leader or being a creator. Whatever is blocking you or feeling like it's just hurting, this is the place to share that.
I've been working on a lot of trying to get some world development done for my community at the moment because there was some significant issues with the previous world we were working with, and it's been quite a struggle to get it going, the ball rolling, which now it's rolling finally, but it's been a game of trying to come up with ways to I guess, start from square one and organize ambitious people with some form of niche. I don't want to say specialty as in like they specialize in it, but they're ambitious to specialize in that sort of thing, and then to kind of get them in that spot, figure out what's important, and yeah. And I think the pain point here is mostly to get a lot of it going, it requires a lot of intervention to do, like to provide the framework, and then point at the framework, and then find the person who wants to who could likely put that into the frame, and then try to mix it all together. But at the same time, I cannot constantly be there to point at said frame and say, put the picture in the frame, you know? I can provide the Crayola and I can provide the paper, and I can say, hey, if you put Crayola on the paper, then you get a drawing and you put it in the frame. But at a certain point, it's like, you know, I think that's the biggest issue I'm facing. It's gotten better, but it's taken a lot of intervention, personal intervention into the process, which makes me feel as if I'm overstepping and potentially making it less collaborative. But by not doing it, what collaboration there could be doesn't actually happen because the ball just simply won't roll. Yeah, that's where I'm at. Doing
Thank
well
you.
though.
Thank you for sharing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I want to honor that, and I also want to pause for a second. And hi, Varam. Welcome.
Oh,
Glad you're here.
is this something live?
Yeah, this is a live stream. Welcome.
Okay.
And so we're doing a circle talking about being community builders and what hurts about that. What is our pain points? And so we're just hearing from Jeanette. And so anybody who is present for that, who would like to reflect Jeanette back that hasn't tried yet? So it would be down to Profidor or Moose Boo.
I think I did a reflection.
Oh, you did?
Actually.
Did you do
Yes,
Axles or Verkas? You did Verkas, and Verka did it.
Verkas.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Moose Boo, would you like to reflect Jeanette back? Jeanette? Just offering whatever you heard Jeanette share about their pain point.
I'm Saima. I'm more in a listening mood than a talking mood. I'm sorry.
Okay. Yeah. Well, thank you. And so I will do it, and then maybe you can try on the next one if possible. We'll try to participate if we can on some level, but if you want to just share a pain point tonight, that's okay too. Okay, so Janek, I heard you're building a world, and you got into some coordination conflict issues with getting that world built for your community. And once it got going, it feels like it's finally rolling and people are cooperating better. But it was a rough start to get it going. Is that reflected back?
Let's say that's generally accurate.
Did I miss anything? Was there something deeper about that? Or what the actual conflict was that kept it from going? Sometimes that can be helpful for people to kind of feel with you.
I think it's mostly it's not so much trying to get, because it's a common goal, something we all want, generally those working on the project, but trying to get the project moving as a leader is rather, maybe it's daunting to a degree. And so I've tried delegation, and that's been working, but there's a certain degree of a lack of, I guess, is the word understanding? I'm not sure, but a lack of like what I'm trying to express to the person I'm delegating to, not as in trying to tell them what to do per se in like an authoritarian way, but as a just general, like, within the responsibility of the role, this is kind of what I'd like to see, what I think we'd all like to see. And so, like, to fulfill that within your role, but whoever it is, you need to go talk to this person, and help them beat two rocks together and get a small stone, you know? And I feel like times, if that happens, it's like that little procedure doesn't take place, and so it slows everything down, and then the people who are supposed to bang the stones together feel that there was a lack of communication, and then I have to go, so I'm kind of forced to go down the line and beat said stones together to show them I have to physically hit the stones together to show what that looks like to get it going. And at that point that's working, but trying to be more hands-off. I'm trying to be as hands-off as possible to make it more collaborative. And the primary issue is, well, with stepping back, sometimes it's even a little bit is too much. And also I only have too much time to delegate in the day to what is essentially a hobby. You know.
Yeah.
It's a mutual aid endeavor, but there's, again, like, good handful of people should not just feel like I have to be there 24/7. So this not to say that's just me. There's other people in there that are doing quite well in managing things, but specifically World has been rather difficult to get that off the ground. But
yeah, so I hear that the conflict is getting that spark going outside of you, where people are synergizing and they're figuring it out together, and having to prove every step can be really exhausting and feel like it's not getting the synergy for the group going.
Synergizing is definitely a good word. I think that makes the best sense.
Yeah, I can
synergize and kind of get the SPAC going, and then once that SPAC gets a flame, it kind of stays alive.
Yeah.
Because it's at a point where certain people are getting really ambitious in what they're doing, which is what I wanted, you know. They're really getting into whatever task it is. They're learning a lot about that said task, and they're like throwing ideas off of each other. And so I can kind of leave them to their own devices, and then convene in a couple days and say, okay, where are we at? And we should be good from there. But it's been very rough getting to that point.
Yeah. I get you.
Definitely unsteady. But
Unsteady.
it's be working.
Yeah.
Wow.
Thank you. Thank you for
Yeah.
sharing that.
Sounds so familiar.
Yeah. You gotten further than Burka. Okay. So who else has pay points? We got Froverdor and Moose Boo who haven't gone yet. Just one ache about building community.
I could go. Yeah, let's see. I feel like this past week, my body's been getting a little, not worn down, but like more ailments are kind of rising up in a sort of seasonal affect. Um, I have a medical condition that affects like my stomach, and a medication that should have arrived by now, I only found out today, was blocked because the prior authorization ran out or something dumb with the insurance. And so I'm calling my doctor. They got back to me the other day. They said they put it in order, but this was before I just found out that I guess whatever this prior authorization is needs to be resubmitted. And who knows how long that bureaucracy is going to take. So
Wow.
it's just sort of been making me feel a little bit more stressed with this condition that's flaring up. And yeah, it feels like it makes everything else a little harder. Makes difficult tasks like getting to work on some of the creative projects I have just like a bit heavier to like push up over that ledge of getting started. And then recently I feel like I've been feeling this toothache very gently starting to kind of become a slight annoyance. There's nothing painful, but it's enough that it's like, that is concerning. And I don't know if this is something like I have to take care of, because it's very, very faint, but it's persistent. And it's like, what is this? I just got fillings like right next to this spot where it hurts. So I'm like, is it the filling? Is it the something else? Like, my gums aren't great. It hurts to like floss in that spot. It's like, I don't know. Dental health is just like a whole thing. I'm like, am I doing this wrong? Am I eating incorrectly? It's a lot of questions that I'm realizing like I'm not paying very close attention to, and then that, just adds on to another thing to push through as I'm just trying to get everything else in order. And yeah, in general, I feel like past couple weeks I've kind of had a very similar pain point of feeling a little overwhelmed with like how to make progress on these creative projects. Like Janek's saying, there's like sort of that spark, or getting the ball rolling. It's I feel like I get the ball rolling and then I hit a break point where it's like, this is a very difficult branch of creative decision making that if I make a wrong decision now, I'm going to have to go back and undo however many hours and hours of work it would probably. I have this issue where I tend to overthink and feel that I need to make the right creative decision first and never mess up, because I don't want to have to redo anything. So that kind of ache, that frustration is still there, and I'm like wondering, like, yeah, I got to stop procrastinating. I got to just start getting, just making any progress at all is better than doing nothing. But it just feels very hard, and there's so many more easier distractions that are right in front of me that make it very hard to not pick that. Like, I could keep browsing the internet or binge this TV show, or so I don't know. I'm on my own, and I'm just trying to rely on myself to not make these decisions that don't really benefit me, but it's hard to convince myself that when I'm the only one around to tell myself that you should do this instead of that. So that's where I'm at.
Yeah, thank you, Fro. So, actually, I'm remembering, Axel, have you done reflective listening yet? Okay, so Axel or Mooseboo, who would like to reflect Profit or back?
I could
I
say
can
something
try.
about it.
Yeah?
Oh, no, if you
Okay.
go for it.
Mooseboo's going to give it a go.
Yeah.
Good job, Moose.
Let me turn you up. You're a little quiet.
Oh, sorry, I do speak a little soft. So, my
Did
partner suffers from a... Oh,
Bye, Jeanette.
it goes connect.
Connect.
So my partner suffers from colitis, which is a similar, like a type of stomach issue, and helping them deal with it has been a bit of a struggle on the home front, dedicating time, just making life as easy as possible. So then trying to assist and help with the community, a bit on the back burner, and trying to find time to actually dedicate to keep an eye and keep track of like running projects has been a bit difficult, while also maintaining a health condition.
Yeah.
And find like the right balance between the two, while still trying to help the greater community.
Yeah.
Does that feel like it reflects it back through?
Yeah, some of it. Yeah.
Yeah. I also heard that it boils down to everything's harder right now, and making decisions that move projects forward are especially hard right now when you're not feeling great. Getting tangled with insurance and just feeling the pressure build. Yeah. Did we miss anything?
I mean, that's like the gist of it. Yeah.
Can I express something that I heard?
Sure.
Okay. Well, just a piece of it, because I believe it was expressed as far as your health, but it also sounds like, from what I heard, is that you're having a bit of a stress with yourself, being the only one to communicate these things with and try and get through this, that it's like a loneliness that is causing you to have a lot of doubt and question into what you're even achieving or not achieving, and where you should go, and what should happen, and how it should be done. And then having the illnesses kicked in there, you're already feeling uncomfortable with those things going on, with that on your mind. So trying to find where you even can start to do something to get yourself back in order has become a challenge, because you're dealing with all these things that you're already dealing with alone. That's just, I heard a lot of that.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, another important pain point. Mooseboo, would you like to share a pain point?
Sorry, what exactly is a pain point? I missed the beginning of the little get together.
Yeah, it's just basically whatever is aching for you around building community. And so we share one pain point each week and we reflect it back. This is not here to be fixed or changed. It's just a place to be experienced, being witnessed and reflected on.
Okay. So I usually do like the back end of things, and I'm coming into a pre-established like administration, so I've been mainly dealing with the account management, the spreadsheets, the forms, and there's no like style guides in place or reference guides in place when I came along, so I've been painstakingly trying to build all of that from scratch on my own, while like the community is already existing, and it feels like it's a bit of a rush or a time crunch when it didn't need to be initially. Like trying to build the foundation while the house is already built.
Wow. Okay. Axel, would you like to try reflecting that back?
Sure. So what I heard is that you're in the usually in like the back end during like the spreadsheets, all of like the statistics, logistics side of everything. And now it's like you're in this community where it's been thriving, but you feel like now trying to piece it together, you're taking the already built that now needs the foundation, and that's kind of the difficulty, is where you're getting at.
Yeah, like there's people, there's events, but there's no like record keeping, there's no like history on paper. It's just word of mouth. So it's like everything could disappear if like a couple people just went away, and it's like there needs to probably be a lot of things like saved on a shared spreadsheet so people actually know what's going on if one person like just disappears for a couple of days.
Yeah, so the actual technical infrastructure is missing for your community.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, that can feel really intense and ache-driven. Yeah, thank you for sharing that. Okay, well, I will say my pain point, and then you all could just pick one word or a visual, or you don't have to reflect it back at all, since everybody's gone. It's fine. Mine is, it's dealing with people's attention spans. So I have all these different lenses in my mind that help frame context, and I once, asked AI, how many lenses am I running right now, when I was venting about something, and it counted something like 21 lenses is what I'm using when I talk. And it said that on average, most people are using 2 to 3 lenses. And so that was interesting context for me to realize, like, just how complex it is inside my own mind, and how different combinations of those lenses create different outputs and inputs. Like, they are, so examples of them are like, from the perspective of a social worker, or from the perspective of somebody who understands trauma informed like journeys and how to talk about them, or from the perspective of like elders versus from a youth perspective, like age lens, or technically like what the timelines are that build or make something, and so from like a producer's perspective, and or dominant versus oppressive culture's perspective. And so all of these are layering on top of each other when I speak and when I listen, and I have to kind of assess the lenses that people are using when they're talking, and try to match my lenses to theirs, but maybe add one more so that I can give them a way to stretch their mind a little bit, stretch their hearts. But if I add too many lenses or the wrong lenses, I will flood the person, and they will space out. They will check out. And then attention spans in 2026 are like, I have usually between 15 seconds to 30 seconds max to synchronize enough with somebody for the connection to keep going beyond that. And that just feels exhausting to say out loud, much less try to calibrate that, much less do that with people that are behind masks and they're anonymous and I can't see all their micro expressions. And even people within bridge makers that are helping build a bridge, like sometimes they're just typing to me asynchronously, and I can hear my voice talking and I can hear their voice in my mind talking, so I feel like I get it. But it doesn't mean they remember my voice, and they remember how I speak. And so that means whatever I'm saying could be heard from the lens of a villain in their life or somebody who judges them or whatever. And they're going to have a very different reaction to whatever that person's lenses might be with those words than mine. So again, when I say all those, I just feel like melting into the ground and turning into moss and saying, I give up on being a human and leader and goodbye, everybody, because this is insane. That's my pain point, is attention spans and lenses, and how constantly I encounter invisible headwinds, invisible like disconnects and vanishings, and sometimes it takes a long time to understand what broke there or what made somebody stay or what made somebody leave. And I still suffer the aftermath of that kind of rupture when people disappear, when people just like be like, oh, I'm really busy or whatever. And that's never the answer. But that's what they've put in their mind as this is how I can say no politely, so to speak. So, yeah, I'm struggling with lenses and attention spans and lack of visibility. So if anybody would like to try reflecting any bit of that back, I welcome it. And if not, I gave my own summary.
Did I, just to see if I hear this correctly, what you described as lenses are like different perspectives of other people, and you hold so many at the same time that it overwhelms people in some cases.
It can, yeah. Imagine like lenses that layer on top of each other that create different concentrations of light, right? Mm-hmm. So they're different thicknesses, they're different like gradients of what light gets through, and so every combination of these different systems that organize the world and understand how to move something through it, they change depending on which ones are there, which ones are not, and how they're layered. Yeah.
It's very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I could be completely wrong, but I heard that there is a structure that has to occur with multiple people, multiple levels, responsibilities, whatever they may be, that tend to lose interest, step away, whatever their choices are, whatever may happen, and it just seems to happen so quickly that you don't have time to even replace that lens, that individual, and so you have something that could just crash at any moment because you can't figure out how to keep these people interested, or the lens, excuse me, how it would be repeated, interested more than those 15 seconds or however long they're interested, to a point to where they just say, oh, I'm busy, can't help you, I'm sorry, see you next time, and you may never see them again. And then you're stuck in this situation where there's nothing here except for you. Mm-hmm. And then you're trying to support all this balance that's supposed to be everywhere on you, to where you just say, you know what, I'm done, can't do this anymore. And it's dragging you down. Because I know you don't want to make that choice either.
Thank you, Virgo. Yeah. Like, there was a way you described that of like, if we say this as bridge makers and we're all learning how to build bridges, I find myself end up holding parts of the bridge while somebody moves away for a moment, and then sometimes they don't come back. And then now I'm holding that part of the bridge too. And then other people are like, why didn't you come over to here to this part of the bridge? You said I'm next, or you said this. And I'm like, I'm in these 5 different spots. I'm holding the core of the bridge. Like, I can't move right now. And yet we're talking about administrative stuff. We're talking about, like timelines of projects. And we're talking about invisible things where it just feels like, well, she just must not care enough, or she's obviously taken too many things on. Why did you take another thing on? And so there's just this constant projective mess that happens in these spaces that can become 24/7 consciousness on my end if I don't constantly guard against that.
Oh,
Yeah, thanks for hearing it.
it's a lot.
It is a lot. Okay, any other reflections? If not, that's okay. We'll move into our second part.
I wanted to reflect the thing that I heard that I've heard you speak about a bit, but it was messaging and how because messaging is hard because we don't fully get context or we don't get the inflections that we hear when we talk. So in the stuff that we send over message, we're relying on hearing that voice, and that sometimes, even if we do know that person, sometimes what we send isn't read correctly. We don't put the inflections where the inflections are supposed to be, and then that creates this alternate perspective, which I heard you speaking of, where it's like the villain versus. So I just wanted to reflect that back.
Thank you. I've always imagined a really great therapy piece. Oh, Casey's here. This therapy, therapeutic stage of sorts, where you have two people on two laptops and they're typing to each other, and one is like, "Hey, you wanna go get some, something to eat after this?" And then the other person reads it, and you get to hear what's in their head when they hear it. And they're like, "Hey, you, are you going to eat something with me?" And it goes back and forth, and it gets so weird. Hey, Casey, welcome.
Hi.
Hey. So we're doing our weekly circle. I think, have you been here for this, the Community Builder Circle? Member.
I think.
Okay. Well, just so you know, it's a live stream, and we're checking in about community building pain points. We're about to be done with this part. But we were just talking about just how easy it is to mishear and misread each other in Discord and online communication, and how hard that can be as a leader. For what I notice is that people who haven't spent recent time around from me, when I write them, it's way more likely that they're going to take that very strongly and skewed, no matter what it is. Hey, how are you? Why are you asking me that? What did you hear? And I'm like, I just, you just came to heart, and I wanted to know how you're doing. But there's this assumed agenda sometimes for people, and or when somebody sends me a message and I haven't heard from them, and they're like, "How are you?" And I'm like, "Well," and I feel like I'm about to answer that, and then I realize that their "how are you" is not actually a "how are you." It's just how they start their things, and they didn't really want to know, and they totally skip over, if I do answer that, they skip over that to what they really want to talk about, and that's tough too. Yeah. So yeah, thanks for hearing it. That's definitely an ache for me, and this week has just been a lot of juggling lenses and wondering what's getting skewed or twisted from what I'm saying. So definitely some concern and anxiety happening in me. If Bridgemakers were Sesame Street, instead of letter of the day, we would have our emotion of the month is concern. Brought to you by Hey You's getting an ulcer. Please RSVP for your next event today and save Hey You an antacid. Shout out to everybody who RSVP'd to tonight's event. And for those of you who haven't, please find our Discord and do that. Yeah. So thank you, each of you. I know it can always feel counterintuitive to be like, hey, this hurts. And then we're all like, we hear that hurts. And then we move on. We let it be there and we move on. And it isn't because we're not finding answers to some of these building pain points. we do use our Discord and we do have conversations about these things along the way, but it's really, really important to build a culture of accepting we can't fix each other's pain, but we can still be community together in it. And learning how to do that consciously is part of the point. Oof. So, releasing all of that energy, checking our time. Oh, wow. We're actually closing our time up already. So, we might have room for one world to go to ask ourselves the question, how does this world make community or break community? Because every world has a vision of a community it is hopefully attracting. It doesn't mean that it's actually figured out who it might be hurting. Because worlds hurt people sometimes. And so, yeah, I am looking through my worlds and seeing which one I could give us to show a version of a community space. Has everyone here been to the Biome Conservatory? Does anybody recognize this world? I'm trying to remember, Fro, if you might have been here. But this world's a really interesting one. Have you been to this one? No? Maybe?
No, I don't think so. I'm looking at the stats.
That
maybe,
means...
maybe I have to walk in.
Yeah, come check this world out. This is a really interesting one for making community.
Okay. All right.
So, yeah. What I love about this world is that the plants that we see drawn here are actually plants drawn by people. People have drawn these leaves out and they have sent them as images. And then the world creator takes the images of the leaves and builds plants out of them. So the whole garden is made by people who drew.
I was gonna say these have a great drawn look. Like they're now that makes sense that someone is submitting them, another person is
exactly
building some. Oh, there's like watering cans. What are these?
There's watering cans.
Really beautiful.
Yeah. So this is, to the question of how do we create community jams, right? This is a really unique answer to reaching people who maybe are never going to open a world creation app, but want to feel like they have become part of a community experience, that they've done something.
I don't know if these watering cans do anything else.
I don't remember. I feel like there's plants higher up. Some of them flower or something. But I've actually never seen anybody water a plant and seen anything happen. But they do look like they're there for something. So I'm not sure what it is.
It could be unfinished.
Did we lose Moose?
I would have loved some particles, maybe for splashing. The waterfall just disappearing into the water.
Lily pads are not solid.
The what is not solid?
The lily pads are not solid.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I want to jump on those.
No, that feels a little sad.
I won't jump.
Don't jump.
At least there's a staircase here.
Yeah. Yeah, so I also like the design of the space. I feel like the space is, it prevents a sense of getting trapped. Like there's always clear options on where to run away from the spot I'm in. So for the fight-flight reflex in me that has gotten pretty harmed in these spaces, I feel safer here. I feel like I can be in this place and always be flowing and not be worried somebody's gonna corner me somewhere. Like
I love this giant spiral.
Yeah, the walkways are very wide. The spiral allows for there's like a garden, a cactus garden.
Aloe vera.
Like alien and humanoid plants, you know?
Maybe that's not aloe vera. Maybe it's these pokey things that are out in the yard.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that they curated, community art like this. I think it's a really creative way to help people feel belonging.
And the fish in the water.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Kind of trying to dodge these leaves. Some of them feel like it might smack you if you hit it.
Okay, the railings don't have colliders. I just walked off.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for letting us know. Yeah, we don't want to drop Verka down
there. No, I'll scream.
So look at the green onions. So you can actually harvest the onions.
Those are really nice looking.
Mm-hmm. And if we make it up to the top, we can actually I think there's a space up there. We can have a seat and chat with each other. But it's a calming space for the body. It's like not trying to hype us up. Oh, you found a little garden of cats.
Kitties.
Yeah. Kitty cat garden. And to me this feels like VR chat culture, but they made room for that, right? Of going if your plant is kitty faces, then we will plant kitty faces. And I think there's something lovely about letting people show how they grow. And it gives us all a challenge of what kind of leaf would you build? What kind of art piece could you add to this?
Yeah, some of these are super detailed, and then some of these are they just want to be colorful.
Exactly.
Yes.
Scribbles are welcome too.
Oh, there's Axel.
Yeah.
Don't walk off the edge, Axel. There's no railings.
The guy made of metal is these betrayed me. Do not trust the railings that look like metal. They're imposters.
I wanted to walk in there, but I don't know if those are gonna.
Oh, good question. Yeah. This is a great little garden.
Yeah, this
doesn't feel like something that would be a trick that you'd just fall through the floor.
It would be terrible if it was, right? Yeah.
It's got a nice little path through it. Ooh, and it's gorgeous when you walk through here.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I haven't been back here before. Yeah.
Stones. I'll just walk through the stones.
You walk through the stones.
Yeah.
Walk through the plants. Yeah.
Does it take you back down as you go around?
I think it just loops.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, look, little sheep.
Casey's up there. Oh, they are little sheep. Matt.
With the little
flower.
We took an exit. We took an exit.
Are those tomatoes?
Look. They're beets.
Yes.
You can pick these ones
up.
Beets.
Okay.
Here, have a carrot.
And a carrot. Oh,
and a carrot.
That's
we harvested. And look at the mushroom people. Yeah. Somebody built mushroom people.
Are we playing Super Mario?
Don't say that. Not Mario.
Not Mario.
Oh, this is really nice. Yes, that was very nice. Oh, and you do get to kind of walk in the water. That feels neat. This just feels
Yeah.
fun walking in the water because you're not falling down. You can see that your feet are in the water.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a nice. I can feel like I'm walking through it.
Mm.
Yeah. I want to know what's at the top, though.
I know. Exhaustion. Did we lose Axel?
Is this corn?
We'll keep going.
Oh,
Axel.
no, they're not interactable. I was gonna grab one of the. I saw the leaks you could pick up, and I was trying to think of a good leak joke, like, "Oh, the boat's leaking. Look, and there's no boats around now."
Such a leaky bridge.
We were just in there. Oh, that's different.
Yeah,
that's not the one we were just in. Oh
no, we just walked up for it. We didn't go down.
Yeah, so they've replicated some of their stuff, right? Some people have plants in multiple places.
Okay.
Let's keep going up. What kind of plant would you draw, Verka?
What kind of plant would I draw? That's a terrible question to ask me.
Plant.
Because I would want to build trees.
Okay. What kind of tree would you build?
I actually like the really tall, I guess they're just pine trees, but they're really tall.
Whoa, shit.
And I would like to be able to climb to the top of one and then have it sway. The top, so you could be holding on to it and just swaying with the top of the tree.
Oh, look at you wanting to climb something high up, not just build it. That's awesome. Oh, we found Axel. Axel is swimming in
the top.
In their enlightenment.
Does that take you down the drain?
It does. Yeah, don't fall in here because it will take you all the way down.
It kind of looks like a toilet.
It does a little bit, yeah. Flushing.
It's the way the water's just flushing out.
It's also very torus. And be careful, Casey, because it will drop you. You will go all the way to the bottom. Look at this sparkly beads.
All the way up here, and there was one over here. I don't think they do anything.
Arizona.
I was gonna say, one of those platforms. One of the vines looked kind of curious, so I want to take a closer look, and then it just has no collision. I fell down a whole story.
I know.
It was a little disorienting, actually.
That is so disorienting.
So
it's hard to know.
Maybe.
Yeah. What trust? What do we get to?
Yeah.
Oh,
the heart.
Somebody carved into the tree. So that's actually another good example of maybe somebody drew the tree, right? And they added their own little code and heart text to it.
It is 2D.
That is awesome. Okay. Puts that smile on the face.
So, what did we learn here? This is going to be our closing. Uh-oh. Bye-bye. Don't fall.
Okay.
Don't fall.
Yeah, it goes all the way to the bottom.
Yeah.
That'll take a while to get back
Confirmed. So, looking at this world, right, we're seeing that it's hard to trust a lot of these shapes. People didn't necessarily test this world as clearly about which objects are supposed to be solid and need to stay solid so people feel secure here. And
yeah, I think that it might have been because of saving on resources to make it load quicker. It's definitely complex to put colliders everywhere, but they did compromise, I would say, some really unfortunate situations where it really betrays that trust of what you think something had. Oh yeah, Arizona just fell off trying to reach us.
Oh no.
They might have fell all the way down. The railings themselves, that's really weird. I don't know why they thought people weren't going to lean into that. Oh no, they came.
Hello. Hi, Arizona.
Casey was just here a moment ago.
Welcome.
Hold on, my music's way too loud.
Okay.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Where would Casey go?
Casey was maybe looking for you, but Casey fell all the way down to the bottom and is now making their way back up. So
I came here to find him, and he's
yeah.
Now, even with that rail, even with that rail being an issue of not holding you,
There he is.
I don't think it's, as long as you know that it's not going to hold you, this place is still very peaceful. The whole atmosphere of it is very peaceful, kind. You can look around, but there's a lot to look at. So you could spend time here. This is a place where you could, if you wanted to, people could build this into a sectional community as you're coming up and you're going around different areas that do a lot more as far as community-wise. Because there's so much already with the plants, it shows that there's sections as you move up, and then you get to the top. This would be the grand finale type. I expected to see a lot more here. That's why I say that grand finale. I just expected to see something a lot bigger, whether it be something that exploded or something. I don't know, something like you've reached the top. That more of a feeling. This just feels just as simple as the bottom.
Yeah. So when we see Casey again, let's ask Casey to go on orange if possible. We're getting a whole bunch of joins people I don't necessarily recognize, but yeah, thank you, Verka. It is an interesting art piece to come up here and it feel more like just a normal garden and less explosive, as you said, with just it's like less diversity at the top instead of more. Yeah. I hear you.
Yeah.
What about you, Axel? Seeing you enlightened with like all these different flowers surrounding you was a good finale for me. I was like, oh, it's a Zen Buddha Axel, like sitting amongst the top.
Yeah, I'd like to apologize because I entered this world, like I purposefully went after Frofador, but I entered the world before him. And the thing with his avatar kind of set me off at the beginning. So that's why I wasn't moving. I was sitting there trying to recenter myself. I don't know. It just, I don't know. It hit me a little bit harder today or this evening. So I was just sitting there like trying to. So that was my Zen moment up here. I was just sitting here and just
kind of calming
trying to
your
ground
nervous
myself
system.
in the tree. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. No apology needed. Yeah.
No, it's okay.
Well, I mean, it's feedback, right? So, like, everything is a creative decision, including how we enter, how we communicate, how we enter. And thank you for continuing to name that. Yeah, it does. What feels like celebration to one person can feel really disruptive to another. So, thank you for sharing that again. Yeah, so let's now pull ourselves into the closing part, which is just honoring and acknowledging. Hello.
Hello.
Hurrah, hurrah.
Welcome.
I like the disconnecting head. That's a cool effect.
Where's Casey? I don't know.
Casey was here a moment ago. I think
Yeah.
How dare he leave?
Oh.
I'm gonna go find him.
Okay. Do you mind putting yourself on orange while you're here? We're actually doing a live stream right now and trying to keep our circle contained.
No problem.
Thank you. And if you find your friends, including Casey, please let them know also.
Oh yeah, I'll let him know.
Thank you.
Ooh. Thanks.
Okay. So what we do for this last part is we will basically acknowledge how we grew each other. And so this is by throwing this imaginary appreciation ball around. And, we've got more people just flowing in.
This is a big friend group.
I know. Yeah.
Not mine.
Not yours. Okay.
All
So,
good.
yeah, the appreciation ball is basically something we see in our imagination from the whole journey that we've gone on today. And oh my goodness. Okay. Maybe actually let's do this. I'm going to drop a portal and we're going to move worlds because I feel like I'm not feeling settled here and that's going to make it hard for us to close. So
I think everybody's looking for somebody.
I know. Yeah. For whoever would like to close the circle with us and not make it a social hangout, let's go through the window here. Thank you.
right. See you later.
Have a good one.
Thank you. Okay. There we go.
Sorry.
You know what's interesting about that world is that it never feels very grounded in there. It always feels kind of disruptive. And
Really?
yeah, every
Do you
time
mean the people that come in, or
the
is it...
energy of what travels through people in that world is tough. It kind of can never feel rooted, sort of thing, which is hard. Uh-oh. Did we lose Axel again?
I don't know if they're loading.
Oh, moving.
There we go.
Alrighty.
Here.
Hello, welcome.
Welcome. Nice to see you back. So, yes, now we can finish this and not feel like people are going to drop in from the sky. All right. So, you all know the drill. So, yeah, we're just basically going to say one thing that helped grow us that another person did, said, or wore. And that's how we close the circle. And so the imaginary appreciation ball is here in the middle. Who would like to grab it and start?
We have the ball in the world.
Oh, right. Well, so actually, note that the appreciation ball that is here now is actually not going to be called the appreciation ball going forward because it kind of got off point a little bit. But we're going to make something else that actually recognizes the depth of what we're usually meaning. And in the meantime, this kind of substitute. Yeah. We'll let the little yappy dog ball be a part of it one more time. Chooses you, Frofridor. So I guess you get to start.
It went right to you.
Oh, okay. Sure, okay.
It said you and you only.
It's kind of funny how it can like do that.
Yeah.
It moves on its own. I appreciate. I'll throw the appreciation to Burka. I don't know. It'll stay over there. We don't have to use it. I felt like when people were doing the reflections, I think you caught something that I didn't even realize I said, and I really appreciated that level of understanding and attention that I just want to appreciate. Yeah, I think I am struggling with the loneliness in some cases, and that's just something that's hard to talk about. So it's like I have trouble, trying to form things into words that make sense to me, and it's like, I appreciate that. I don't feel like you were like calling me out or anything. It was just a good reflection that caught everything I was really saying. So thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yay.
Okay. I am going to throw this, and hopefully it gets to you.
Okay.
Get ready.
Go for it. Here we go. Okay. I helped it. Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I want to appreciate the information that you shared because it helps me. I don't know how to say it. I'm trying to say it. The way you shared it and the way you expressed it helps me have a better understanding of how things are going to possibly work and how I need to possibly make myself more available, or I need to find a role that allows me to participate in a way that can help others that need that help. And I just appreciate that because I sit at home a lot. I don't have to go to work. I don't have. So I need to participate more, and I appreciate that from you to kind of throw that out there to where I'm going, oh yeah, that's right, I forgot. And so you brought that back, and I appreciate that.
Thank you, Virgo. Yeah, appreciate that. You got the howl. There's definitely a howl going on. Yay. Well, I lovingly pass this over to Axel. So Axel, every time you name another flavor and another layer to this journey you're on with what you're writing about, I feel like any theatrical play I go to in the future, I'm going to remember all these episodes of Axel agonizing over another perspective, another layer, another way to protect and serve who's going to be experiencing that play. Play has a lot of hard work in it. And I think just the duration of getting to hear how this is being developed, and also just the care that you are feeling your way through it. It touches me, and it makes me feel like I've been rushing through these living entertainment pieces too fast. Like I've seen them as like, well, I ordered my food and now you do the play, and then I give it a thumbs up, or I speak about it to other people and say, oh, well, they didn't do this part or whatever, or I'm surprised, or that had a terrible ending. And I've just never gotten to be so intimate with somebody who's actually written something like this before and realized like how much it's a living piece that's kind of giving birth through you, and how much it possesses you, and how much you care for all these people who've never seen it and you'll never meet who do see it, or who are rippled and impacted by it. And it's just the pain of that and the persistence of it is humbling, and makes me less of a consumer, I believe, going forward, and more of a, like, I feel like I'm going to be the growly person that tells people to shut up if they're whispering to each other at a play from now on. I'm going to be like, just witness the grandeur of, like, just don't complain, just take it in. Like, this is everything to somebody. Yeah. And so, yeah, thank you for giving me a depth to how I will appreciate these living group creature fictions that have a lot of truth embedded in them somewhere. Yeah. No.
I'm gonna crawl over.
Appreciation ball is crawled to Frifdor. There you go. Yay.
Yeah. My appreciation is the way it's still the way that you just show up every time. No matter what it is, and then just the openness in everything that you share, even if to you it feels like it might be a little vague in like what you're talking about, but like how even then we still get the fullness and understand the deeper complexities of what you share. So.
Yeah, that's a really good way to put it. There's a middle earthness to you where everything you share feels like it's a whole planet from one perspective.
Definitely.
Mm. And I like those key words, the openness, the richness, the fullness that you bring.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. The irony of that is that you make us all less lonely. And by just being here.
And well, I hope that we can be a part of that for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Wow. Well, that is our full circle tonight. We've been Grand Central Station for people dropping in and out. We made a little progress this week with Apex. They did check in on our Discord saying they had a TV to set up tomorrow, and that was their reason for leaving. So thank you for telling the truth, Apex. Yeah, this is the nature of being a transparent community journey, and we will have a lot of consciousness that has little wings and little attention span land in and fly off. And sometimes that happens. Like my rule of thumb is people get to do that about 3 times before I'm going to probably track them down and just check in with them directly and see if we can find a better understanding of how Bridgemakers works or how to participate with us in different kinds of events. And so everybody on that roster is less than 3 times doing that today. So thank you for your tolerance of the birds that land and evaporate. Can be just disorienting, but they will get reached out to if they make that a pattern. And many times, like we're seeing with Abex today, like people land, then they stay a little longer and they hear a little bit of the norm. And some people are very active community members that did these little loops for weeks and weeks before they started to kind of get their roots in the ground with us and learn the rhythm. So it's how we rehabilitate ourselves back into being human beings that stay. One flight and landing at a time. But what a journey. I feel like, yes, it's been 2 hours, but it feels like a whole week of connecting tonight. So thank you to each of you. We got to go to one world and see one example of making community. And our next event, I believe we have a celebration and a launch of a world this weekend, which will be for Armani's. Wait, is that this weekend? No, that's next weekend. Sorry. This weekend on Sunday, we have the Festival of Concern. It's our last concerning event. And it'll be on Sunday. It is a PCVR hop. So we're going to see worlds that are much more complex. And that means for Quest people, either you can watch it on the YouTube stream, or if you have the ability to hook it up through PCVR and need some support getting that done ahead of time, we can also try to figure that out for you. Or if you're already on PC, then just come through that. But my general rule of thumb for myself is I don't do VR on just PC only. My own concentration, and also I've had weird experiences when I'm just in here as a frozen mannequin. People get very disturbed by that and get weird with me. So I have to be embodied in VR, but if I don't have at least 3 people that are embodied with me in VR, I will start having really uncomfortable body sensations. So that's just the one qualifier to this is like, if we don't have enough on the list, we might have to close the event out early if people are just coming to kind of watch like a TV screen. So if you are coming, try to be here as embodied as you can, and we'll make it work however we can, even if it's shorter. But we're going to learn about concern. We're going to feel it.
And you said that was the last one?
It'll be the last one for the
this month.
month. Yeah, so every
okay,
month is
okay.
a different emotional kind of salient piece. So next month we're gonna do confusion. May
Oh.
Gonna say.
confusion. Yeah,
Oh man.
I know.
Just get
That's
the
a
most
big one.
random things. Oh wow.
It'll be so easy to elicit confusion for everybody constantly. I'll just put all my lenses on, and everyone will be like, "What?"
I'll go find the weirdest worlds.
Exactly. Yeah.
The ones that make you scratch your head.
Like that swamp world we went to last week, I think is a
That
great
was
confusion
very
world.
confusing, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
It's also concerning.
Yes, concerning and confusing. Well, why don't we maybe sit up here with the very dark background? It's gonna make us all look like raccoons in the night. And get a little photo. Oh, squeakers.
I don't know if
Yay.
I'm too close or what.
Great, Berka. Yeah, that's
Am I
perfect.
too close?
There's a little
Nope.
bump to stand on.
You're awesome. Just there's fine.
Axel with the mini Axel.
I know. Axel keeps bringing new avatars every week. Okay, so I'm going to say 3, 2, 1. And when I say 1, go ahead and shout out one word that embodies tonight, whatever it is. So 3, 2, 1.
Fun.
Lenses.
Plants, lenses, fun. Axel, what's yours?
No
Perspective.
colliders.
Perspective.
Oh, yeah.
Drawings.
Okay. Drawings. So many good words. Okay, and let's wave goodbye to our stream.